Formula One fans, Ferrari just outsmarted everyone, and Mercedes is absolutely furious. Let me break down every detail of a stunning strategic move that has Brackley shaking. The prancing horse has been sitting on a top-secret plan developed over the winter, one that now allows them to spend significantly more than their competitors under the budget cap. And that is the real bombshell of this season. But it does not stop there, because Ferrari's own simulators and even those of their rivals were predicting the SF26 would be 6 or 7 tenths slower on certain circuits like Spa. Instead, Maranello fooled everybody, showing up on track with a car that is anything but weak. Hidden inside the Aduo 1 update package introduced in Austria was a brand new MGUK specification that went completely unnoticed. A masterstroke of engineering that caught the competition completely off guard. And then came the most brilliant political move of the British weekend. Ferrari strongly opposed a proposed regulation change on active aerodynamics pushed by other teams. And that single veto allowed the Scuderia to conceal its power unit weaknesses in the most effective way possible. Toto Wolff is furious and has publicly admitted Mercedes has already lost 75 points due to reliability issues, while Andrew Shovlin openly acknowledged that Ferrari is now a genuine and serious threat, forcing Brackley to completely rethink its development plans. If you want to stay up to date on everything Ferrari and Formula One, drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get into the full detailed analysis. Let's start with the smartest move of the entire season. The Maranello outfit has a very clear and deliberate plan to keep bringing major updates throughout the year, and it all traces back to a strategic decision made during the winter that now gives Ferrari more room to spend under the budget cap than any of its rivals. In recent weeks, a war of words broke out after Toto Wolff suggested that Ferrari could not possibly sustain this development pace for the full season, a comment that prompted a visibly irritated response from Fred Vasseur. The secret is as simple as it is clever. By choosing to spend less on the base design of the SF26 during the winter, Ferrari has preserved its development budget for the race season. Mercedes, on the other hand, invested heavily in the starting specification of its car and is now running low on spending margin. It is a brilliant plan that has completely blindsided Brackley. And here's the most fascinating and surprising element of this whole story. Simulators are one of the most critical tools under the current technical regulations. And at Maranello, the internal predictions suggested the SF26 would be 6 or 7 tenths off the pace on circuits like Spa. What makes this even more remarkable is that the rival simulation tools were showing similar numbers, meaning everyone expected Ferrari to be clearly beaten on those layouts. Nobody is hitting the level of predictive accuracy we have seen in previous years, and that is because today's Formula One cars are extraordinarily sensitive. As explained by Giuliano Ducessa in Corriere della Sera, the algorithm adjusts performance based on the aerodynamic load actually generated on track, but grip variations change traction output, and traction then changes how electrical energy is deployed. It is a chain reaction that no simulation model can yet reproduce with perfect accuracy, and Ferrari exploited that uncertainty brilliantly to pull off a genuine surprise. Now, let's get to the technical masterstroke that nobody spotted. Alongside the declared updates to the internal combustion engine and turbocharger in the Aduo 1 package introduced in Austria, Ferrari quietly introduced a brand new MGUK specification that slipped through completely unnoticed. An absolute engineering masterpiece. This component was seamlessly integrated into the overall package and is contributing enormously to the performance recovery. Ferrari has been working methodically on 3 key factors, all of them critical: aerodynamics, traction, and electrical deployment. Each one of these elements is essential, and if even one falls outside the correct window, performance collapses and the setup goes completely wrong. Ferrari has made more changes to its car than any other team over the last few rounds, and the rate of improvement has been genuinely impressive. Now, let's talk about the smartest political move of the entire Silverstone weekend. At the start of the British Grand Prix weekend, there was an official meeting with the Federation to discuss whether active aerodynamics should be permitted in zones where it is currently banned. Ferrari strongly opposed the proposal and won the argument. And it was an enormously consequential decision because Silverstone features long, straight sections without active aerodynamics, which forced every team to search for very delicate aerodynamic compromises. The result? The cars with the best chassis came out on top. Mercedes was able to run a little more downforce thanks to its residual power unit advantage. But above all, Ferrari managed to mask its engine shortcomings, both because the power unit has improved significantly and because the SF26 exceptional chassis allowed the team to run less downforce than the others without losing performance. Cars with higher drag like McLaren and Red Bull suffered heavily as a result. Now, let's move on to the Mercedes reaction, and believe me, they are not happy. Toto Wolff told the press conference directly, "We have lost 75 points due to reliability." The Mercedes team principal acknowledged that right now the team's biggest rival is itself, a powerful and telling admission. The power unit built at Brackley has experienced too many battery-related issues, problems that appear to have only been resolved with the update introduced in Austria. But at Silverstone, a technical failure unrelated to the power unit shattered Andrea Kimi Antonelli's race, handing him a second DNF in just 3 races. And Ferrari is watching all of this very closely. Then came a remarkable statement from Lewis Hamilton that left the entire paddock speechless. The 7-time world champion said in the press conference, "I have been genuinely impressed by our execution in the races. Overall this year, the power units are seeing more issues than usual." And then the final line that shows just how seriously Hamilton is thinking about the championship. "I don't know the specific situation regarding the batteries for Russell and Antonelli, but I imagine at some point a penalty is coming, since they only have 2 available." A precise long-term calculation from a driver who is ready to collect every single point that Mercedes leaves on the table. "It will be crucial to maintain this level, maximize the points, and always give everything, even when winning is not possible," Hamilton concluded. And now comes the stunning admission directly from Mercedes itself. Trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin openly stated in the press conference, "After Austria, we expected Red Bull to be very quick. Ferrari has clearly shown they are too, but we need to focus on ourselves first and make sure we execute cleanly and bring the car home without reliability problems." A statement that confirms Mercedes now views both Ferrari and Red Bull as fully returned forces in the championship fight. And here is the biggest twist of all. Mercedes had originally planned to completely freeze development of the W17, heading into the summer break, with no further updates in the second half of the season. Those plans have now changed dramatically, and Brackley will be bringing new updates toward Bahrain. Mercedes feared Ferrari far less at the start of the season than it does now, and will be forced to spend resources it never planned to use. And we close with one final bombshell on the horizon. Ferrari's head of aerodynamics Diego Tondi was personally present at Silverstone, underlining that aerodynamic development remains the absolute top priority at Maranello. The team led by Loic Serra is already working on a 3rd major update package, set to debut at Zandvoort in the Netherlands right after the summer break. It will include performance components alongside some specifications tailored specifically for a high downforce layout. And the Aduo 2 update, targeting the turbocharger directly, is expected within 5 races. Ferrari is pushing forward on 2 simultaneous fronts, engine and aerodynamics, while Mercedes chases. The SF26 is already 7 or 8 tenths faster than its launch specification, and the development curve is far from finished. Ferrari has genuinely fooled everyone, and Mercedes is furious, borderline in panic. A secret budget cap plan built over the winter, rival simulators completely wrong in predicting the SF26 6 or 7 tenths off the pace, a new MGU-K slipped quietly into the Aduo 1 package, a brilliant political veto against expanded active aerodynamics at Silverstone, and engine weaknesses hidden behind a superior chassis. Wolff furious, admitting 75 points lost to reliability. Shovlin acknowledging the Ferrari threat as Brackley changes its plans and brings unplanned updates toward Bahrain. Hamilton waiting and watching, ready to strike the moment the first Mercedes penalty lands. And just around the corner, the 3rd major package for Zandvoort and the Aduo, 2 targeting the turbocharger. This fight is far from over,